Clifford, you come from the other side. You come from pretty much Central Africa.
Yes.
What has it been like in terms of your experience in as far as the Washington Mandela Fellowship is concerned?
Actually, it has been an awesome experience, one that even went beyond my expectations. And just to tell you a little bit of how I feel, I actually extended my flight to stay in the US for 1 more month. But apparently I want to shift it back to go back because I think I'm armed enough to go and implement some of the projects that have been shaped on here in the United States of America. That's the feeling that I go with. I've had an awesome fellowship at the Presidential Precinct, which has taught me a lot about going beyond just the normal, about leaving history behind. We visited actually the founding fathers' homes. We were able to get history about Madison, Jefferson, Monroe. We were able to know how they came so far with slavery and how America has gotten over slavery and how they fought for freedom and how America is doing everything to leave that behind. And so I've had that in mind, and I'm taking it back to my country for us to leave the past behind and take the youth, network with the youth, build synergies across Cameroon, across Africa, and brand ourselves as a new generation to be able to move beyond our plight as Africans, but to think more like Africans, look for African solutions, and build synergies with the US to be able to move forward from the past.
You talk about the monuments, of course, of former American presidents. Have you been able, for example, to visit the monument of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Unfortunately, I have not been able to, even though he's a great idol that actually inspires my work. And I work around political spaces. And my essential question is actually how to create safe spaces for young Africans in party politics and democratic processes. And I always look at Martin Luther King and say, if this guy had been in a safe place, America would have been great since his time. And so I actually admire him a lot. And I think that us, the Mandela Washington Fellows, we came here because the State Department, coupled with great work from IREX, saw that we aim at things that are greater than our visions.
So you probably would agree with some who actually refer to Martin Luther King Jr. as the conscience of America.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Very interesting because that's why I also like this program, Straight Talk, because just like Martin was very straight to the point. He fought for freedom, he died for freedom. And so I think that like the Mandela Washington Fellowship, we have to go beyond our might. And it is important for us to build synergies, to create safe spaces for Mandela Washington Fellows where they can actually impact their societies. We actually work within very close spaces and difficult spaces, and we need the spaces to be opened up for Mandela Fellows, to be selected out of thousands. For example, from Cameroon, 17 out of 1,275. It shows that you have something to offer to society. It's disheartening if you have to go back and you can give back because of close political spaces. It's very essential for us to create safe spaces. And we have one way forward, and that the world can provide for the young people, and that is technology.
Clifford, you come from the Cameroon,
yes,
where you do have President Paul Biya, has been in power since 1982, the last time I checked.
Yes.
What would you say is the single most important lesson that you have learned in this fellowship that you are very, very proud to take back to Yaoundé?
The first thing that I've learned is from Honorable Charles Thomas, during my fellowship. We got to learn that at 32 he became a Supreme Court judge, despite the fact that racism was at its height in Charlottesville at that time. He was able to dare into difficult spaces and make his voice heard. I have gotten courage from the Mandela Washington Fellowship to be a bridge for the young people in Cameroon and speak out for them. Somebody must do the sacrifice, and a group of young people must do the sacrifice for the country. And one of the sacrifices that we have to do for the country is to be able to network with young people, create safe spaces for them. But obviously, we need we need to build synergy and a brand across Africa as young people. And I know that the Mandela Washington Fellowship is interested in our connectedness. For us to brand ourselves as civic leaders across Africa, across especially Central African region, it gives us the force for us to be able to come together and brand ourselves to take over new leadership. And that is why I pilot the Not Too Young to Vote campaign, where it's going to build a platform of 2 million young Cameroonians to be able to mobilize them to vote, to advocate for electoral integrity and non-violence, and to tell them that there is a way out at the ballot box.
Thank you very much.